This is Big Bear Backcountry TV. I'm John Wells, and we're coming to you live from the San Bernardino National Forest, right around Big Bear Lake, California, which you see in the background. There's over 650 miles of trails currently available to off-road enthusiasts here, and we're going to introduce you to all of them over the series. In this segment, we're going to interview a couple of guys from the Big Bear Country Club, well, the Backcountry Club, the 4x4 Club here of Big Bear. We're going to review some products for you and actually give you some on-the-trail experience. And my name's John Wells, and we're here on a double black diamond?
I believe it's just a single black diamond.
Just a black diamond trail this morning. And we're talking to members with the Bear Valley 4x4 Club. Introduce yourself.
I'm Corey Merrill.
I'm Dan Vermood, known as Santa.
And we're here at what's called the Waterfall?
This is the kind of the gatekeeper on Gold Mountain.
Okay, very good. And I've been listening to you guys talk about the trails getting wider. What's going on?
Well, when I came up here the first time 6 years ago, it started from that tree over there, about 10 foot to the side of this rock. Now you can see people come up here that aren't set up for it, and they make bypasses around it, and they keep tearing up the rest of the forest doing it.
Set up for it. Well, Corey, you're with All J.
Yep.
And that's why people come to you, is to get set up.
To get properly set up, so we don't do this type of damage. So you can go over the obstacle as it's made, and not make your own obstacle.
Right. So if you see a black diamond,
if you're not set up for it, don't do it.
And if you don't know what that means,
that means
don't do it.
Find out about it. Yeah.
And we were also talking a little bit about, I see fences everywhere. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with those.
We put fences up like that to keep people from going off the trail. And as a way up, there's quite a few of them that we have to replace about every
almost monthly.
2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because people come up, and regardless who it is, it's woodcutters or people want to drive off the road, and it gets to be really a big hassle trying to keep them up.
Now, you don't get much of that from the club members. Is that novices trying to hit the trail, or?
It's probably novices coming up here.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned woodcutters, and we're going to do a little feature on that in a little bit there. But anything else you've got to say to the folks about when you head out on a black diamond trail?
Don't go alone, and be prepared.
Don't go alone.
Yep. Don't come up here without somebody knowing where you are and when you're expected back.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about the club.
Well, Corey's been with it longer than I have.
I've been there since the beginning. We've been here for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
5, 6
So
years.
it's fairly new.
And it's a bunch of people who just care about the forest up here, and we enjoy wheeling. Very family oriented. No riffraff in our club. We put a lot of time in on the trails up here, and we spend more time working on the trails than we actually get to Jeep on the trails.
Right.
But that's important to keep the trails open for everybody else to use.
Sure.
One of the reasons I joined the club is because during the runs and everything, there's no alcohol.
Yep.
There's no drinking at all while you're on a run. You can do it all when you get back to your camp or cabin or wherever you're staying.
Now, the Bear Valley 4x4 Club actually does an adopted trail program. I see stickers on a lot of the Jeeps. Tell us about that program.
This is one of our trails we adopt. This is our main trail that we do. It's because we're all local. We're right here. We can be on it at a moment's notice, like today we are.
Right.
And being local, that we can keep and maintain the destruction, and hopefully get on it right away, so it doesn't go any further than it needs to be.
Right.
We're only allowed a certain corridor in the forest, and if we abuse that corridor, we lose the trail. So if we can stay on it and keep it going, we can keep our trail.
Now, talking about National Forest, does the National Forest spend a lot of money to maintain these trails?
This is all volunteer, and most of all this stuff is all put in by volunteers. They supply a lot of the parts for it, but to put it in, we've got to do it.
Okay, so this is not a federally funded program.
No, this is a small man funded program.
Okay, that's what the federal government is supposed to be.
Sure.
A bunch of small people.
One of the main problems we have too is down at the very start of the trail. The dump is only about 2 miles down the road. People come up there and they throw pickup loads of stuff.
Right.
And we've had guys that live up here, when we find out about it, come up, pick it up, and take it to the dump.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, you guys all have these huge trash bags on the back of your Jeeps.
Right.
And we've already stopped once to pick up stuff, and I noticed when we stopped to get ready for this shoot, some of the members are out there in the woods picking up stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don just picked up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He was out there in the woods.
We said he makes a nickel a bottle.
I know where you get a dime a bottle.
Well, you pack it in, you pack it out.
Yep.
And just how many volunteer hours do you think the club puts in?
Oh man, we've had the trophy for 3 different times, I think.
Yeah, about was it 1,500 hours?
1,500 hours, I think.
All combined.
That's a few hours.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
That's a few hours. Very good.
And like he said, a lot of them are local, so you get travel time from where you live to the trail. So for them up here, they don't get much travel time.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, I live down below, so I get 2 hours up and 2 hours back.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
I'm right there, so I don't get the travel time.
You don't get the travel time.
But I can put
Very
more
good.
time on the trail then, though. I don't
Right.
have that traveling time that I have to use going home and back. I can dedicate it for here.
All right. Well, let's take a look at traveling up the gateway.
Yeah.
The gateway.
Sounds good to me.
Our backcountry 4x4 hill climb test of the Mickey Thompson Baja MTZ mud terrain tires was conducted on a loose dirt and rock slope averaging about 25 degrees in steepness with some sections over 30 degrees. We tested a set of 33 by 1250R 17 LT tires on the stock 17 by 8-inch wide Rubicon rims. The tires would have had a slightly better footprint with a 9-inch rim, but performed extremely well, as you can see in our videos. We experienced virtually no wheel spin, and the tires kicked up very little dust on our steep hill climbs. The MTZ features Mickey Thompson's power ply sidewalls with a special angled third ply to give you high performance handling, better puncture resistance, and improved towing capacity. Other features include advanced radial construction for high mileage and a smooth ride, a self-cleaning high void ratio tread lug for traction in mud and snow. Deep shoulder lugs provide aggressive traction and bold looks, while the enhanced side biters are there for added traction and protection. The side biter technology protects the sidewall from damage by rocks, branches, twigs, curbs, and other obstructions. They also aid in flotation and traction when in soft terrain. The side biters increase gripping tread by up to 50% in off-road applications. During our hill climb test in loose dirt, the Baja MTZs showed excellent steering control and a very good feel. Also on the rocks, the tires showed good traction, but we'll be doing a more thorough rock crawling test in the future. The MTZs also have a fairly small void ratio for a mud terrain tire, which means their on-highway handling and noise levels are excellent for a mud terrain tire. So far, our experience with these tires is first class. Stay tuned for our next test. Our backcountry 4x4 Jeep Wrangler JK Unlimited Rubicon needed a winch. We selected the Superwinch Talon 9.5, and the reason for this is very simple. We've had tremendous luck and 0 failures with Superwinches in past projects, and we've also used the Superwinch extensively in our vehicle recovery classes. The installation was straightforward on the Hanson winch bumper, taking less than an hour to install the winch, the roller fair lead, and to hook up the wiring. Superwinch's winching kit includes a 3-inch tree saver, a couple of heavy-duty shackles, a snatch block, a pair of gloves, and heavy-duty nylon carrying case. For our first test of the Superwinch Talon 9.5, we decided to use an area we've used many times in vehicle recovery classes, which has a 45-degree slope, very loose dirt, and ruts. After finding a suitable tree, hooking up the tree saver strap and the steel winch line, and plugging in a handheld electronic controller, we started our pull. Some of the key features of the Superwinch Talon 9.5 include a rated line pull of 9,500 pounds, a sealed 5.2 horsepower series wound motor, a 2-stage planetary and 2-stage spur gear set with a ratio of 148:1. The solenoid is vented, sealed, submersible solenoid with a 3-year warranty. The clutch is free spooling. The brake is automatic with 100% load holding and is situated outside the drum. It features a wire rope 3/8 inch diameter by 85 feet long. The hook is a heavy-duty clevis pinned and latched with a fair lead that's a 4-way roller and stainless steel. The remote is a 15-foot sealed ergonomic handheld with a coiled cord. The installed weight of the winch is 90 pounds. It has a limited lifetime warranty and 3 years on electrical. A line pull at 0 pounds draws 75 amps, and a line pull of 9,500 pounds has a 430 amp motor draw, and that's at 5 feet per minute. As you can see, our very first pull with the Superwinch Talon 9.5 went flawlessly. Plenty of power and virtually no effort up a very steep slope. Over the next several weeks, we'll be conducting more difficult tests on our JK project with the Superwinch Talon 9.5 winch.
This is John Wells. It's been my pleasure to work with Don Alexander and the group here on Backcountry TV. And I want to remind you, if you'd like to own a piece of this and get all the recreating you want, contact us at Exit Realty. Our new office is in Bear City, right next to the Lumberjack Cafe, or call us at 909-878-0522. I'm John Wells. Own a piece of the bear.
One of the important reasons to swap the stock fenders with a flat fender like those from GenRight is to improve tire clearance, especially on black diamond trails like our trail here in Gold Mountain. You can see how much the tires are getting up into the fender wells, and they're actually rubbing quite a bit. But after we installed the GenRight fenders on our Gecko Project JK, tire clearance was excellent with no rubbing, especially vertically against the top of the fender wells. And keep in mind that our Project JK Gecko is using stock suspension right now. We have not installed the lift yet, so it's even more impressive. And we're extremely happy with both the look and performance of the GenRight Flat Fenders installed at all J products. In the final sequence here, we've installed an 1 3/4 spacer lift from Daystar, and we're now running on 35-inch tires, the Hankook Dynapro RT03 mud terrains. And that obviously is making a big difference in clearance compared to running with no lift on 33s. Even though in this sequence the trail has deteriorated due to several thunderstorms, so it's actually a little bit more difficult than it was before. But even though the terrain is a little bit more difficult, our Gecko JK is climbing right up the rocks with no problem. It's actually easier to drive than it was before we put the 35s with the 1 3/4 lift.
You've been watching Backcountry TV. You can log in and find all of our episodes on our website, which will be posted on YouTube, on backcountry4x4.com. I'm John Wells, and in future episodes, we'll let some air out of some tires. We'll go looking for gold in the mountains right here outside of Big Bear. Go on a treasure hunt, and we're going to crash the 20th anniversary of the Adopted Trail program. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks with a new episode.